Hello, hello, what is going on, YouTube friends? Phoenix61 here. I am your host for tonight's Legends Shenanigans. We are in the Tann. I always say ship names wrong, so take that pronunciation as you will, right? But so I want to do a video on this ship. I actually think I have the XP record with this game, which ends up being kind of so-so in my feelings, but I mean, it's tier 3, so it's not competitive, and also this ship isn't technically available. I don't know, I'll describe to you what I'm talking about, but it's not really available to get on console alone. You have to have linked a mobile account, right? So basically what I did to get this ship is, I don't know, like a month or two back or so, I downloaded the game on mobile. You play through like one or two intro missions on mobile, and I personally am terrible with the controls on mobile. I think maybe now you might be able to like link a controller to your phone and play with a controller. That might be a little bit better, and or they maybe, if you can't do that, maybe they're working on it, so I've heard. But there are some people that are like, oh, you're just bad with the mobile controls. I'm like, yeah, I sure as hell am. That's correct, yeah. But so we are playing on console here. So basically with what I did was, you can sign into mobile, and when you first download the game, it only downloads like the intro part of it, so to speak, where you can play some AI games, which is all you really need to do to be able to get these rewards. And then you can like sign in, and you can like link your account and do like a couple other things, right? And then if you want to be able to play like the full-blown version, you can download that, but it takes up a good chunk of space on your phone, right? So shooting this Wyoming just because he's given us good angle, right? This is tier 3, so it's not, whether or not you want to consider this game competitive or not, right? Like sometimes people are still kind of learning what to do here, and even at tier 3, you're not gonna get punished as bad for being broadside like this as you would at some of the later tiers, right? But anyway, so what I did is I downloaded the mobile game, and then I think the pattern that I'm seeing there is every time there's like an update, basically like a new campaign, right, in the game, there's another like 7 days of rewards on mobile as well. So then like once, the next update hits, you could sign in 7 times throughout that update and get some decent rewards. Sometimes it's like, sometimes there's some doubloons in there. Sometimes there's like a couple premium days in there. Like they're decent. Like it's a decent ploy to try and get you to download the mobile game. And then I think the first time you do it, and I'm not sure if this is still the case, right, because this is going to be coming to the console with the next update, so I don't know if they're going to change this, but with the first chunk of rewards, you would get this ship, right? So that's how I got this ship, and then linked my mobile account to this, and then voila, I have Tann on console, right? So Phoenix, can tell that he is turning broadside to us. I have most of my guns on the starboard side of my ship, so I am turning hard left to try and get as many on him as possible. We've got 3 fires going here. We're going to use the damage con for those since we see the torpedoes, right? So it'll be going while the torpedo hits us, and we are fine. And then we will unload our AP rounds into his side and get, hardcore retribution there. So see if we can't cap this zone. We, of course, sacrificed quite a bit of health to get where we are at this point in the game. But devastating strike. 3 Citadel hits, 46,000 damage dealt, and maybe a zone capture is in our future here. We shall see. Is pretty, decent work for tier 3. So we'll play through this game. I think I die a little bit sooner than, right? Like I'm not one of the last people out. So I'll cut, the recording short as, I'm not a huge fan of watching other people play when I'm in my game. I want to go on to the next one, But yeah, so this will be what the ship is kind of like on, on console if you choose that route to get it. But I don't know, like it just depends on how the, what you need to use to get it. I know there's going to be, like there always is, a new currency, right, for like the Halloween event and stuff. So maybe you'd have to spend those to get it. So I don't know, maybe it's a better idea to go and snag this from mobile, right? Download the game there, link to the account, and then any rewards you get on mobile for, which are mostly just sign in rewards every day, then transfer over to your console account. At least that's what I did. So yeah, but yeah, so then you'd save yourself some event currency potentially if it's, you know, if this is still a reward for downloading mobile. But you'll have to see, right? So maybe they change it, maybe they don't. Who knows? We'll have to see when the update hits. But yeah, trying desperately to dodge torpedoes from this, right? Like pretty much any tier 3, even if your ship has AA, right? Even if your ship can shoot down airplanes, it's a struggle bus. I'm trying to get that, right? So see if we can't finish off this cruiser. We are bleeding on health as well. Yeah, we left a tiny, teeny tiny bit of damage and left enough for somebody else to finish him off. Yeah, but this Veribus Unitus is picking on us enough to keep resetting this capture, so we may not get it, plus the carrier. .300 health left. Like I always love to say, you only need 1 hit point. And we get lucky there, and somebody helps finish him off, and we dodge the torp. He didn't quite drop him soon enough, so that one didn't arm, or whatever you want to call it, before it got to us. So we'll use our heal here. I think it got will to rebuild, so if we get this destroyer close enough to us, we may actually get this zone capture. Yeah, there it goes. We may actually help with this zone capture after all. And then I'm going to look at the commander build and stuff for this, so I don't have it set for a secondary battery build, but it does have the secondary battery booster, and I do think for tier 3 the base secondary range is pretty decent. So I'm going to look at the commander and the mods and see what I have on here. You know, at the lower tiers you don't get as many choices with modules, right? But I'm going to take a peek, and then yeah, you can see we only have we do have a limited number of damage controls, right? So there are a couple of free-to-play commanders out there for the Germans that you can use to get some more of those, right? So there's commander perks out there, so I'll show you those as well, because I think what I'm going to end up doing is I might change this to a secondary battery build and then play some more games and see how it goes. But yeah, so we get they finally managed to finish this off, right, even with our will to rebuild going there too, but we get, 62,000 damage is pretty hefty for tier 3. And then I think what ends up happening, this ends up being a close game. But our destroyer here goes after their carrier, which is going to give us a good chunk of points. And then, but we do end up losing some warships and potentially him. I can't remember what happened. I watched like the rest of it, and then I was like, it just was not exciting enough to like post on YouTube. Yeah, you can see we lose our carrier as well. So then like the points situation gets a little dire here. But yeah, I'll skip ahead. So we do end up winning. So yeah, of course my total is 62,894 damage. We did get that really fun devastating strike on that cruiser. And then you can see we are at the top of the leaderboard with 1,511 XP earned. And so I was like just curious because like since it's such a new ship and was kind of only really out there on mobile, I went and checked World of Warships Legends builds. Right, so if you're not familiar with this site, it has like damage and XP records on it. And so it's just I think it's just WOWSbuilds.com or something like that. But yeah, you can sign in using like your Google account or whatever, and then as people submit damage records, like that's impressive, 146,000, right? So he must have lost that game, but then I went and checked the ad. This is like filled with ads. I can't tell if that's 1,166 or 1,766, but if it is 1,700, he technically beat me, but he only entered 1,166. So we got 1,511, so that would beat the record. So it's worth going in there, putting in your screenshot and typing in your number, and then when they verify it, it replaces, the existing XP or damage record, right? So go in and upload that. But yeah, this one's got that page has quite a few ads on it, right? So here's the Tann, and this is how I played it. I played it with this aiming system mod 1 on. But you know, with the turret traverse is slow and the secondary batteries are decent too. So I mean, you got options here, right? So I think I end up like taking a peek and seeing how we know what the difference would be. So we'll take a quick peek through the stats, right? 38,000 hit points. Artillery, yeah. So what I was looking at here, firing range on the right for secondary armament is 5.6, and I don't think I put two. You know, aside from the base commander perk, I don't think I put anything else into secondary battery, so it must be 5.2 or something base. And yeah, AA is, you know, so, but it's tier 3 whatever. And maneuverability, I'll just scroll through these just in case you care, but I kind of don't at tier 3 too much. And then same with like armor, right? Like it's always fun to take a quick peek at the like Citadel you know, regions, you know, the nether regions. But yeah, so then I took a peek at the overview here, and it does list, you know, a secondary reach, above average secondary battery range, right? So sometimes you have to take those overview stats with a grain of salt. But yeah, I was using Franz von Hipper, which, you know, he has his, you know, secondary, his main perk is the secondaries, but none of his other ones am I using for that. So here's my like other choices. You know, I can have a couple of paid commanders. This Bodger, the blacksmith, and like I was in here, and like they've been making changes to Commander Geist and being able to hide them and stuff like that. And I was like, well, this collaboration Commander Geist cannot be hidden. All effects will, you know. So I was like annoyed. Like this isn't. I think this is auto celiacs or something like that. How do I get rid of this Geist overlay? Right, this is a free to play commander. Like there's nothing. I think I can just take the Geist off, I guess. Let me see. So if I scroll up, I don't like. You used to be able to hide it, and then I would go in and see. Let's just scroll up and take it off. Yeah. So yeah, here we go. Auto. Yeah. So it's auto select, right? So this is like a normal free to play commander, right? You can buy him for Commander XP in the store, right? So I'll take it off for this, right? But then for inspirations, I just use you know, Franz von Hipper is a must for a secondary battery build, and then whoever else you have, right? Like I have Bismarck, which was a paid commander. But here's one of the perks I was talking about, right? So this highly educated crew gives you more secondary range and gives you more damage control party charges, right? So we only had 3 to start with this ship, right? And then here's more secondary damage, and here's properly meticulous, right? So like I'm thinking I use this guy, and then yeah, because so this is Franz von Hipper's who I was using, right? And I've built more into just main gun damage and stuff with this. So yeah, range, and then he has this kind of cool perk, damage, you know, increased damage against battleships, you know, depending on the ship type you're shooting. And then I went range there. So that's how I got the, you know, the quote-unquote XP record, right? Which isn't anything really that exciting. But all right, so 5.6 is the secondary range that I have on now. Let's go in and sell the aiming system and put on secondary battery mod. And then let's see what that gets it up to. So 6.3, which is pretty good for tier 3. And then if I switch to auto, which will now give me more damage control and 7.2 kilometer secondary range. So I think I'm going to play some games with this, and we'll see with it like this and see if it's more fun, right? But I guess, you know, you got options with the ship, right? But yeah, thanks for watching my video all the way through, guys. I really do appreciate you, and also make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That does help me out quite a bit, right? And then once you realize just how annoying I really am, you can always unsubscribe whenever you feel like, right? But yeah, we do Legends videos pretty much every day, so we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.